Looking to achieve a healthier lifestyle but have little time? The Terrebonne General Executive Health Program can improve your overall health for a lifetime in one visit. With little to no waiting, you get a whole year of wellness in one convenient location. Our preventative screenings increase your well-being by providing early detection against illness. With exceptional VIP service, you leave with a plan in hand to achieve a healthier lifestyle tailored for you. Call the Terrebonne General Executive Health Team at 985-850-6204 today.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Fortunate to be joined by Chandler Guidros, head baseball coach at South Lafourche High School. How have you been?
Good, and you?
Good. Talk about your February. I keep saying February and even into January because that's the official time. But I know, Chandler, over the summer, you've seen your kids leading up to everything that's about to start happening with baseball. Feel pretty good about things?
Yeah, just tremendous growth in our two scrimmages in the last week. We really had outstanding performances. You know, two scrimmages, we scored 20 runs combined. So offensive production's there. We throw in strikes. We really like where we're at.
Yeah, listen, and I've been sort of following Bucky, and Bucky mentioned that, and the first thing that stood out to me was run production. Like I'm going, this is good, because in scrimmage, a lot of time kids, they might not still be there. They might have been in soccer. They might have been in basketball, whatever. By the way, do you have anybody in basketball?
We have one projected starter in basketball.
That being said, do you foresee, being at the plate being maybe a strong suit for you?
Yeah, I think so. And it's got to be, a little bit more unconventional than we were in the past. Back in 21, 22, we could play for the 3-run home run. That's not us anymore. We have to understand that as coaches, we have to play a different style. So it's a lot more moving guys over, a lot more aggression, taking chances on the bases, not being stupid, giving outs away. But when there's an opportunity, we want to push the issue and force the other team into making mistakes.
I asked some of the other coaches, they've learned how to make a schedule throughout the year. I know a lot of times early, you got away from here. You go to maybe Eunice or somewhere and play. Is that the same sort of format you follow in this year?
Yeah, we are. We're actually going to be playing a 3-game series with Central Lafourche this year, which I think is going to be awesome, a good tradition that Coach Martin and I wanted to start. We can try to do that every year. And then going back to Cecilia, going back to the New Orleans area, and going back to that Letcher tournament.
This is a compliment, and I tried to get that through sort of when I was talking to Mike Barber from South Terrebonne, because I see a lot of similarities in y'all programs. You get off the bus and you might be taking BP and nobody's falling out their chairs looking at you do it, but then when you start playing, there's that something. It's something. What makes that? I'm trying to get you guys to put your finger on it. Simply because y'all go out and y'all are not totally error-free, but you understand how to play the game. Where do you think that comes from?
Yeah, I just think both communities, it's scrappy, hard-nosed kids, man. And we've always heard that whenever growing up there, it's these two Bayous, it's a different kind of kid that you get. And I don't know, I can't put my finger on it either, but it's always scrappy, hard-nosed bunches.
So I do not want to be negative, but I do have to ask this question. If there's something you worry about, maybe one part of the game or, again, the leadership role, whatever it may be, what might worry you a little bit?
Yeah, we got a couple of young kids that we're putting in there. We got a couple of freshmen that we really think could play. And, you're always hesitant to do that. Like Coach Barber said earlier about this team reminds me of his 21 team. This team reminds me of my COVID year, where we had a senior class with a core that have coming back that we believed in. And we just stuck some of those freshmen in there, and we were going to see what happens, our sophomores, whatever. And those guys turned over a couple of years later to be pretty damn good. So, it's going to get their feet wet. We're going to go through the growing pains with them. But that's kind of our, what we pausing at. It's understanding they're 14 years old.
Do you take the time to either use them as an example or just for you to go look and see the Josh Pierces and the Darren Duces and how they're doing at the next level? It would seem that some of your kids have something to look forward to, right?
Absolutely. And look, those guys come whenever they off. They come around. Nobody wants to catch Josh whenever he wants to come throw a bullpen with us. But no, they look up to those guys. That's who they saw growing up. So absolutely, we use those guys as the examples of what they can be.
And I'll revert back to probably the first question on here that deals a little bit more of describing your team. Do you think this year you're more of a veteran team, experienced team, young team?
It's a true mix. We project to start 4 to 5 seniors, and the rest, it's about 2 juniors, 2 sophomores, 2 freshmen that we're looking at. So is going to be a good, healthy mix. And we like where we're at. The guys that we do have coming back and the guys that we're pumping in, I think could replace a lot of the production we lost.
And quickly on the mound, feeling pretty good?
Yeah, look, we every scrimmage we played, we 70% first pitch strikes, 60% overall strikes, and that's well above our standards. So we liking where we're at, sure.
Very good, very good. Wish you the best of luck this year.
Thank you.
I am very fortunate to be joined by Hillary Boss Hill. We're going to give everybody credit on this right now. Head coach of the softball program at South Lafourche. I was telling Hillary as she was walking up, you got named with the least amount of time to get ready. Has that been a hindrance? Because you knew the girls. You kind of were involved a little bit, right?
Actually, I got named as coach 2 days before Christmas break. So coming into the program, I could say there was really only 2 girls that I knew personally because I got the chance to actually coach them down in reg ball in 7 and 8.
Right.
So now I'm getting a second chance to coach them again in high school.
Do you still have some that are involved with softball?
Yes, we have a few girls.
I'm sorry, basketball. Basketball?
Yes, we do have 4 that are on the basketball team that we're waiting on. Yes.
So talk about what it's been like in January and February. As far as the progress y'all made, have you been happy with what you've been seeing, considering?
I am very happy with the progress that we made on the short time that we've had together. The girls are really coming together as a team. I can't talk about what was there in the past because I wasn't part of it. But apparently what I'm doing is working and it's prosperous. We had a scrimmage against Central a couple of weeks ago. And one of the umpires came up to me after the scrimmage and he says, Coach, he says, I just want to give you a pat on the back. He says, and tell you great job. He says, y'all may have lost the scrimmage. He says, but that team that I'm seeing in that dugout is not the same team that I umpired last year.
Very good.
He says they have dedication. He says they have hustle. He says they have pep in their step, encouraging their players. He says they've become a family.
Good. So you consider it as a process. This is going to be a process. Right?
Yes, it's going to be a process,
What position groupings, whether it's, pitching in the circle, whether it's the way y'all are hitting the ball, what have you been happy with? Because I'm going to get the negative side of what has to get better. But first, what's been going well?
Actually, overall, everything's really been going well because the girls, for instance, okay, well, where do you play? Oh, well, I want to play second base. So I've been trying to create a lot of more utility players and seeing some of the girls, they told me they might have been a second baseman and this one might have told me she would have been a left fielder. And I've just been noticing things with my experience of previous years coaching. And it's like I said, well, why don't you go try left field? And she looks at me and here it is. She's bobbling ball after ball after ball at second base. And then I put her in left field and she never drops one. She don't miss a ball. And she's like, well, I never knew I could play outfield.
So you're getting to see that side of it where you're thinking outside the box kind of with girls too. Very good. Very good. As you lead up into this, was the schedule kind of made for you? You had any say-so in it, or how was that?
Actually, at the beginning, when everything was made and handed over to me, and I took a look at the schedule, and I'm like, wow, 19 away games, 6 home games. And I'm like, this is not going to work. So, like I said, 2 days before Christmas break, I'm handed over this schedule, and it's like, no. So then we started emails and phone calls and text messages, and we just basically changed our schedule. Now we got 9 away games, 9 home games, 5 tournaments.
Very good. So you even it out just a little bit.
Even it out, yes.
Okay, so let's talk about, you said most things are going well. If you had to pinpoint one thing that has to get better for y'all to be successful at the level you want y'all to be successful at?
I would have to say it would have to be for the girls to learn how to believe in themselves as much as what I believe in them. I see the talent on what they could bring this team. They just have to see and believe in what they could bring this team.
Very good. Very good. We wish y'all the best of luck this year.
Thank you very much.
When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line. When victory alone isn't enough, you chase something greater, no matter how difficult the path. On the dirt, in the sand, and beyond. The new 2024 Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot, part of our most rugged trail sport lineup yet. From Honda,